The Owl House is one of the best shows in animated history, with a lot of amazing episodes. It is very common when watching to just have your jaw on the floor, because the episode is just so good, and it comes out of nowhere when watching, and it's just amazing. I do think, though, there is a clear best episode, an episode which is just about perfect. October 15th, the premiere to the third season of The Owl House, thanks to them, aired on Disney+. The third season had been cancelled and reworked into 3 45-minute specials, with this one to be the first and set up the final battle. Although that cancellation still stings, I doubt we would have gotten an episode as focused and special as thanks to them if we had gotten the full season. This video was supposed to come out for the 1-year anniversary on the 15th, but I did get sick. Either way, this video is the perfect time to take a look back on this pinnacle of Owl House writing and see why the episode is so special. A new era. At the end of Season 2, we had a shift of power in the Boiling Isles with a change to the narrative we had been seeing. Belos had been dethroned, but Luz hadn't won. The Collector took over. Luz, Amity, Willow, Gus, and Hunter ran away while their family stayed behind. They had lost, and now everyone who they had loved was in danger, while they had no way to get back to the Boiling Isles. The stakes of this episode are just perfect, because we have a big fear for what's going on in the Isles, and the character's trauma is making it even harder to get back. One of the things, thanks to them, that's so much better than For the Future is the focus. Since we don't see a single frame of the Boiling Isles in this episode, we have a fear for the unknown of what's happening there. I really wish, For the Future, we didn't see Luz, Amity, Hunter, Willow, or Gus, and just focused more on the characters there, where we saw King or Eda worrying the Collector. We wouldn't just have the flashing to see Luz either safe and in danger, because then, as us, the audience, we don't have that fear that something bad is happening to her, like King does. It just gets us more into the minds of the character, like Thanks to Them does. But that episode, Thanks to Them, realizes it's the beginning of something new in this episode. It has the task of becoming what would be the majority of Season 3 condensed down into one episode. So it is the job of really showing us what life is like in the human realm for these characters. Seeing Amity suck at Duolingo tells us a lot of what we didn't get to see. Amity has always tried her best throughout the show, but now here there are others who are better than her, and she has trouble adapting. That is a lot of what we would have seen in Season 3. It's condensed down into this one moment. We can also look at the scrapbook, where everyone is having fun discovering this new world, and seeing Amity just get angry while trying to do the glyphs. It tells us a lot about what's happening. We learn later in this episode that Luz is building up the skill, which makes all her interactions more awkward as she retreats into her own mind. We learn that here, and it's a lot different from what came to before. But I think that one thing which really carries us into this new era of the Owl House, and does a great job solidifying it, it has to be the intro. Although it mainly just reinforces things we know, having the show come out and display these aspects proudly really had an impact on me while I was watching. Having Luz come out to her mom, V choosing her own body instead of copying others, Hunter and Willow being together, everyone trying to work together and help the others in the family, whether it's making the cake or attempting the portal. It's really good. And then, the ending part in the rain perfectly shows us what to expect out of each character. Amity is just happy to be with Luz. She's trying to make the best of the situation they're in, just like Luz did in the first and second season. Gus is just in it for the adventure. He's here to have fun. His family may be in trouble, but he's still gonna live in the moment. V is just happy to be part of the family, same as Hunter, finally happy to be accepted. Willow is this maternal figure who puts others in front of herself, not going and having fun so she can get the picture of others having fun. And then Luz, who is trying to make the others happy while pulling back at the same time, retreating inside herself. Oh, it's so good. That is the new status quo, and that is what the rest of the episode makes even more clear. Each character is in an interesting new place where it's really fun to explore here, and this episode was the perfect way to kick everything off and begin this final season, which is just, oh, it's amazing. One of the most recurring elements of Thanks to Them is the topic of guilt. Its presence shapes the episode and the interpersonal relationships that are featured. Almost everyone has just a little bit of guilt, and it is a very interesting motivator in this episode. Of course, we have Luz, but Hunter, Camila, and Amity, they all each have guilt, which motivates them as well, and it really helps the plot flow nicely, contributing to this episode's great pace. Yesterday's Lie is one of the most important episodes of Season 2. Luz is forced to tell her mom that she ran away and promises to come home and then stay home. With the start of Thanks to Them, Luz fulfills the first half of her promise. She's home, and the episode's stakes in large part are the fulfillment of the second part of that promise. Luz feels a lot of guilt throughout the episode for leaving her mother in Season 1 and keeps seeking out to be reprimanded by her mother, but is only met with love and support. I think a lot of this guilt is also because half of Luz is now thinking of how she abandoned King and Eda, which is why she feels so unsatisfied, because she has still abandoned people in real time, and she just has so much guilt about that, and it's just bleeding into her whole life. This is making Luz want to keep her promise with her mother and stay in the human realm. Luz even wants to have Amity disappointed. While she loves this people, her family, like she tells Hunter, she seeks validation for the fact that she is failed, so she can become even more depressed. She thinks she has failed. She couldn't beat Belos. She let him meet the Collector. She ran away from home, and she ruined her friends' lives. She feels horrible and feels emotionally distant from everyone. The most interesting thing, though, everyone forgives her. She still wants to be blamed. She keeps asking her mother why she isn't mad about the events of yesterday's lie. She keeps looking for reasons for her to be at fault instead of just facing the music and healing. But even with this guilt, she still wants to help her friends, now more than ever. She desperately wants to get their home so, in her mind, they can be happy and save her mom from the work of caring for 6 children, but also then so she can just be able to sulk even more. In the video diary scene, which may just very well be my favorite scene out of this whole show. It's amazing how well it's written. Luz feels bad for always going to the principal's office before, which is a cause for her going to the demon realm. But she also messed up in the demon realm, she says, and that's why she's going to stay here in the human realm. What she doesn't say, though, and what we can figure out as the audience, her problem isn't that she can cause trouble. Is that she always wants to run away from that trouble. She's sent to camp, runs away from it. Talks to her mom in yesterday's lie, doesn't tell anyone. Damages the automaton, doesn't own up to it. Luz thinks the problem is that she exists, something she can't fix. But later in the episode, when she finally tells everyone that she helped Belos find the Collector, she receives nothing but support and forgiveness. But she still wants the guilt. She wants to feel bad for herself. She's a horrible person, but if her friends and family are in trouble, specifically those in the Isles, she is going to keep feeling bad until they're fine, which we see in the next episode. Luz not wanting forgiveness is perfectly showcased in the classroom scene. Luz's class is discussing a book where the hero made mistakes, as any good protagonist does. I mean, that's the whole point of literature. You learn and you get better. But while the teacher thinks in the end the hero was a good person, Luz, really talking about herself in this scene, thinks the hero can't be forgiven and makes the lives of everyone around them worse. Luz is at a point where she refuses to accept herself, and I love this scene for showing it so clearly. This episode, it isn't the end of the guilt arc, it's continued throughout this. But what Luz does and faces in this episode is a great way to start that guilt arc. And although I never would have thought depressed Luz is something that would happen in the show, it might just be the most compelling part of the character and makes it really relatable. Next we have Hunter. Since Hollow Mind, Hunter has undergone a shift, now hanging out with Luz's friends, but he has a secret. He is confused, he's scared, and is sharing that secret with Luz, coming out of Hollow Mind with problems, which is cause for their guilt. We find out that Hunter is Grimwalker, more specifically, a clone of some witch hunter who was close to Belos, while all his friends are witches, who ran away from Belos, and he's not sure what that could mean. Hunter was forced to do bad stuff under Belos, And while he left Belos behind, he still deals with trauma that Belos put him through, and really wants to break free of that influence. So it's no wonder that Hunter almost feels happy being stuck in this human realm, because Belos is a dimension away. Here, he finally gets a taste of being a kid, where he cosplays and gets hobbies. But he starts thinking of Belos, and that need to get out of the shadow, and guilt all comes flooding back to him. He gets anxious again, and tries talking to Luz about it. It gets to the point where Hunter is so anxious he begins to steal, and where Belos begins possessing him, especially when Hunter gets scared. I really hope it's the case that Belos comes out of Hunter because of his fear, like that's when he gets possessed, when the fear and anger and guilt acts up. It's almost like a beacon to Belos' goo. That's what causes him to come and become possessed. Because if so, that adds a lot to the story. Throughout the episode, though, we see everyone love Hunter, and this final battle of the episode reaffirms it. It doesn't matter that he's a Grimwalker, or he's possessed by Belos, or any of his problems. His friends and family love him. His palisman gave their life to save Hunter. Camila jumps into a freezing lake just without a thought to save him. He has realized he is accepted, no matter how broken he may be. He learned what Luz still needs to learn throughout the season. As for Amity, she leads the hunt for the Titan's blood out of guilt, since he kind of intruded onto life of Camila and Luz, which, it's not her fault, but they've provided for him, and Amity just wants to do something nice in return. It's a sweet, kind motivation, fun side quest, and let us see a lot more of the human realm of their reactions. It isn't this big thing, but it was really nice, really sweet. Finally, though, Camila. She has always just wanted what's best for Luz. She doesn't always make the right call, but she always tries her best, which makes her a very endearing character to watch. But after yesterday's lie, Camila has been questioning it all. She made a mistake sending Luz to camp, and she's had literal nightmares about it. She wants Luz to be herself, but Luz just isn't as happy in the human realm. Camila wants Luz to succeed and be happy because as a child, Camila was bullied and a geek. Since her husband died, Camila has been discouraging Luz to express herself so Luz could fit in, but the Boiling Isles was just a wake-up call. Camila understands, starting in this episode, that she needs to try her best to help Luz be herself. So when Camila sees the video diary and that Luz is ready to finally give it all up and stop being herself, Camila drops her whole life to support Luz and go to the demon realm. I just love that so much. Camila is such a great character, such a great redemption, always just trying her best, and that's what makes her so good. Guilt is really what this episode is about. Season 2 ended in failure, and in this episode, the protagonists need to get up, try to fix it, and guilt is a great way for that to happen, and a great motivator throughout the third season. Family. Finally, let's talk about family and thanks to them. One of the biggest themes of the Owl House is unity and found family. Whether it's Luz, King, and Eda coming together, Amity rejecting her abusive mother, Hunter dealing with Belos, familiar connections play a big role in the show. And at the end of the last season, we got a big reversal. While in the first 2 seasons, Luz was stranded, separated from Mom. Now Luz is home, and her friends are separated from their parents. And here, we have the added stakes of Luz's strained relationship after yesterday's lie, and the knowledge that the other parents are actively in danger with the collaborator. But beyond that, we really see the formation of a new family. Luz is finally home, and the scene in the rain hits so much differently at the start of this episode than in Season 2. Seeing everyone standing out in the cold to start the episode, hearing Luz's voice crack while talking to her mom, especially on rewatch, is such a potent scene. While Luz acts all depressed in this episode, it is still clear throughout it how much she loves her family. While she asks why her mom doesn't love her, she still asks to sleep with her mother. When she's with Hunter in the basement, they have an amazing sibling relationship. And when they are at the bottom and Luz tells Hunter that he's family, I cry every time while watching the scene because it's just so good. I mentioned that in the intro, it did a great job of starting this new era of the show, but it also did an amazing job at introducing this family dynamic. Willow cutting Hunter's hair, it shows their growing relationship and Willow's maternal presence. Both when Luz comes out as bi and Vi chooses her own body, we see how supportive Camila is, which immediately makes up for all her past mistakes to me, or the rain scene, where Luz and Amity are together and they send up the light spell. The framing where everyone is out together and just so happy. Oh, I get such good feelings whenever I look at it. Another family scene, in the intro, where everyone's drawing pictures of their family. Gus does a drawing of their father, which is really detailed, expressing through art their feelings. Willow has her father say that they are fine, which ties into her character arc of always trying to hold it together. Amity excludes the mother from the drawing, and Hunter just looks at all the drawings, wishing he had an actual family, which is something he gains in this episode. We also have Luz just missing her other family, and Eda, King, Hooty, Lilith. She keeps drawing them everywhere, making the paper mache skull, the Hooty on the door. It's so good. It makes me so happy. Another detail I adore is something which ties together Lumity and Luz's parents. We all know one of the things that brought together Luz and Amity are the Good Witch Zora books. In Lost in Language, Luz discovers that Amity likes the Zora books, and that becomes a thing that bridges them into becoming friends when Luz lets her borrow a book, and then when they are girlfriends, they even start an Azura book club, and in this episode, they cosplay together. But when we first see those Cosmic Frontier merch in Camila's basement, we see a box for Manny's cosplay. I originally thought it was just Camila who was into it, but after seeing Manny's box, and then there's also a female costume, it means they both were, and that changed my perspective on themes. It seems, like Luz and Amity, Manny and Camila shared the common interest of Cosmic Frontier, and that led them into becoming friends, and then it also helped the friendship of Gus and Hunter blossom even more, and the idea that fandoms lead to friendships gets cemented in the show. I just absolutely loved that detail, and it's so fun. It's really good. The episode ended with a fight, not just to defeat Belos, but to save a friend, a family member. Oh, it's so good! Camila trusts Vi completely, how they are journeying to save Luz's other family. Good. So good. The episode has so many moments to reaffirm their familiar relations and deal with relationships. It just really enhances the episode, and there's a lot to love. Thanks to them, it's such an amazing episode of The Owl House and animated television as a whole. It connects with so many other good episodes and shows us so much of what I love about the show. It furthers the story, makes the characters more relatable than ever. It looks great and is paced just about perfectly. Has an amazing focus, which can only be achieved with this longer episode. It's the best episode of The Owl House. It's a perfect episode of television to me. It's thanks to them. It's great. After The Owl House ended, Disney Channel has been airing a new show, Haley's on It. While I've been enjoying the show, the writing has felt a bit whack with some of the more recent episodes, and it has been getting too much discussion. To see more of the problems of the show, make sure to click on this video. And this has been a special type of video for me, so please let me know if you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I have been Fictional Fanatics. I'll see you in that Haley's on It video. Until then, bye!